It is a beautiful spring day here on Missoula Ave in Missoula, Montana. I'm pointing down the road to the place where I grabbed this garbage bag out of the Bugbee, the Bugbee Park, the Bugbee Nature Area, right along the Rattlesnake. I'm not sure if you can hear it or not, but just beyond me, just beyond the neighbor's house there, is the Rattlesnake Creek. So I'm standing about 80, 90 feet from it. That direction is north off into the Rattlesnake Wilderness. That little rise at the end is Lolo, and it crosses the Rattlesnake Creek, which leads to the Clark Fork, and then on to the Columbia and out to the Pacific Ocean. We're west of the Rocky Mountains. So what I think I've done here is to have diverted some plastic waste from the ocean. So yesterday I posted a couple videos. One was showing the extraction of the bag that a bear dragged from somebody's house and took into the woods towards a natural habitat for the bear near the river. He was more distracted by the garbage than the fish, and what happens there is the bear then becomes used to eating garbage, and then it runs the risk of euthanization because it becomes a threat to people. We want to eat the stuff that comes out of our kitchens and whatnot. So after that, I came here to the back of Boris. You can see Boris has a lot of zero waste, or ZDub, in him. Some of the other things we've got bottles, we've got some aluminum, we've got dog poop bags, we've got a plastic bottle that we've collected, some paper products, actually some neat burlap that I found at a site I was cleaning up. Here's some cast iron off a pot that's been broken, some other metal, a big plastic barrel. But here is the topic of today's zero waste episode. And what I'm going to do is empty it out, and we're just going to dissect the whole thing. So this is kind of a two-handed operation. I'll hit pause and then pick it up here again. Okay, so here you can see I have emptied out the bag. Looks like we've got a fair number of beer cans that came out yesterday. I guess they've turned into bear cans. Yesterday I actually saw one that had a tooth mark in it. And basically, everyone knows, well, not everyone, but most people know that the key to recycling, okay, there's a little bit of microplastic. And one thing I don't really like about doing this outside is that this isn't even a microplastic, it's a pretty big piece, is that these plastics can find their way just through the wind. I mean, you can see now the wind is blowing, and what's moving the most? Well, there's another one right there. A little piece of microplastic kind of blown in the wind. Ideally, here in Missoula soon we're going to have what's called a MRF, a materials recovery facility. So all these little nasties actually stay inside what we call the technosphere, and keep the plastics out of the biosphere. And if you've been following the zero waste community, well, okay, so that's a little bit of, I don't know if this person, or there's a name on that envelope there. I don't know if that person was actually responsible for the garbage here, but a lot of times you'll see that, and it's sort of incriminating. And there actually are laws in most cities, and there could even be one here, that once you've put your garbage by the curb, your garbage is the property of the garbage collection agency. In this case, it's a private firm in Missoula, and they say, well, no, that's ours. You're not allowed to touch it. Well, what happens when the person whose garbage it was puts it out too early, and the bear says, no, guys, that's mine. I'm taking this into the woods. I'm going to have my way with it. Well, this is what happens. So all I'm doing right now, I'm taking all these plastics, I'm just kind of putting them in my pocket. This one's going to be tricky. It's got plastic on the bottom. The type is not indicated. There's a little hole there. I believe that's how the water gets out of this pouch. There's a hole in the top. That's how water gets in. and of course inside is the compostable coffee. The top is more than likely aluminum. This is plastic, and then there's some kind of fibrous filter that may or may not be compostable. So we'll just set that aside and get after that later. Okay. Hard to tell here. Maybe some plastic, maybe some metal. Here's a steel cap. Keep that aside. Keep the paper over there. As you saw in the videos yesterday, there were a lot of these tube sand bags there in the garbage bag. And I remember a few years ago when Missoula was flooding, I went off and helped do some flood control, and we put a lot of these tube sand bags actually in the rising waters. And I'm realizing now there's a lot of this. Let's see if I can get in the light here. There's a lot of this, fine plastic fiber, and this is more than likely nylon or some other type of synthetic polymer. And once those guys start fraying, well, you know where they go. They all end up in the ocean. We end up with these microplastic issues. So I'm going to bail those guys up a little bit. I'm going to keep looking for that beer. Oh, there it is. There it is. So maybe we take this to a bear specialist, wildlife biologist, and they'll say, oh yeah, that's a canine from a bear. It does not look like where we used to do the shotgunning of bears. That type of hole would be closer to the bottom down there. So that maybe I'll just put that one aside as the bear can. Exhibit A, the bear can. All right, so let's start putting these plastic bags with the other plastics. And one big challenge, one of the marvels of the modern age is, of course, plastics. If you ever saw the movie The Graduate with Dustin Hoffman, you remember the famous line, "Son, go seek your future in plastics." I got one word for you: plastics. Well, here we are dealing with that. Good 30, 40, gosh, maybe even 50 years later. And not only plastics, but a lot of other materials. So there's some more wrappers, candy, the fruit bars. And so what I'm going to do, I've got my cardboard here. There's another Albertsons plastic bag. And a lot of cities are starting to ban the plastic bag, for reasons that we're seeing right here. If you can't handle it properly, folks, then maybe you shouldn't have it. Put a little compost going there with some paper, more plastic. This is a paper container. This might have been what Mr. Bear was after. I don't know. There's a suspicious cut in the bottom that could have just been caused from compaction. There's this. More of these nylon bags. Here's some paper. Fair amount of beer. Another one of Missoula's favorite pastimes, if not sports. I think I saw this one yesterday. This plastic is going to go with the other microplastics. I think I had one going right here. Yeah. Actually, I need to get this guy. This beer cup is going to be my plastic. There's just a piece that came off from the ripped bag from the bear. These waxes, maybe that's it right there. Ooh, tasty pork chop bone. Nummy num num. All right, that's probably one of the culprits. Here's a glass bottle. Oh, and as you know, in our fair city of Missoula, you can take your Angry Orchard bottle. It has the top with no threads. You'll also notice it's smooth. There's no embossing. This bottle can be taken by Bayern Brewing. So we're going to take that to Bayern. Well, this is a good day for the ZDub. Good day for the ZDub. Okay, all of our plastics are going to come there. This is a fun sport for anybody with a case of ADD. There's always something else coming out of the bag. No boredom here, folks. Okay. No boredom at all. Oh, micro, not even micro, just chunks o plastic. Chunks o plastic, chunks o plastic. Nestle, Toll House cookies. Well, you guys know the Nestle story. I won't go into that. They can do a lot better, I know. There's this. Chicken of the sea, solid white tuna. Maybe just, that's an argument. If you're gonna eat the fish, go to the counter. Forget the packaging. This one, organic seed bread. That's a tough one. I mean, I guess you can buy fresh bread, at the bakery, not in plastic, or just, if you're gonna do the plastic thing, do a little bit better with it. Not sure what this is, but obviously a little bit of food particles still in there, enough to attract a bear or any other, raccoon. Just going about its day. Okay, here is banana peel. Put that with the pork chop. Oh, and this is kind of exploding over here, but I'll keep my plastic there. I'm going to take this paper, put it here. This is all going to be compost. More paper. That's a Jimmy John's bag right there. I'm going to call that paper. Let's see, we could probably, I hate to cremate. Yeah, I see another name there. That guy. So I think at this point we kind of know whose garbage this is, and I'm not going to say their name and embarrass them publicly, but perhaps a little bit of public shaming is going to be required in order to start fixing this problem. Okay, I'm kind of getting down to the nitty-gritty here. This looks like a kind of a little bit of an attempt to recycle. I'm going to put those papers all together in there. More paper, more plastic. Some of these actually have a deposit on them. Not always. Sometimes there's a deposit. No deposit in Montana, by the way. And if there were, I think we'd see, better use. If you look, oh gosh, if you look, I don't know if you can see it here on this low resolution, but right on the top there are the states that do recycle. I can see Michigan, Maine, Vermont, Massachusetts, New York, Hawaii, Iowa, Connecticut, 5 cents. Pretty good. California, CRV, Oregon, and Michigan, 10 cents. So that's a valuable can right there, boys. Take that to Oregon next time you're heading over to Portland. There's my banana peel. Okay, this guy, I'm guessing, is going to be a tasty treat. So that's a plastic bag with either ketchup or maybe even somebody's blood in it. I don't know. Let's see. What do I even say on the side? Let's see. BSWT 42. I don't know, maybe that's some code for the type of meat that was stored in there. I'm not going to smell it. Here's another chunk of meat. So we're gonna take and put this in the compost. One of my next projects is to get something to grind those up so they're more readily compostable. Okay, let's just wrap up the beer here. I think we're really getting down to the nitty-gritty. Obviously, if I had 2 hands, I would be doing this much more quickly, not sort of pausing at each step. But yeah, this video, by the way, I'm titling Brad and Boris. There's Boris again. Brad and Boris, ZDub, the Bugbee bear. Oh, gosh. All right, bunch of little plastics, some nice little cheese. Here's some more plastics. We'll put this over here. Okay, it is windy. It is windy. It'd be nice to be doing this inside. Well, next time. Okay. Well, I think I've pretty much taken care of it. I'll put this aluminum foil. Ooh, that's a tough one though. I got aluminum with paper. That's going to require some special treatment to extract the cellulose and then the aluminum in two separate streams. But it is doable. Top secret information. And we've got our asparagus in a plastic bag. So I'll put all this organic material together. I'm going to stick these into my waste stream. The bear can, or the bear tooth can, is going to go into its own Exhibit A, maybe for City Council. And, well, there you have it, folks. A couple little extra chunks of plastic. You can hear them crinkling as they go away. I'll put that with my compost. Yeah, we'll just... So all these paper towels are going to be nice little additions to the compost pile. Whew. Okay, well, there you have it. I successfully Z-dubbed the bear bag and the Bugbee. I'm going to take all those little guys apart. All these plastics are going to go together. This paper is going to go into the paper recycling stream. And then I'm writing a grant right now to go and take all of this weird little plastic and actually just we'll convert it back into good old petroleum, and then see what we can't do to keep the zero waste economy in Missoula rolling. All right, well, there you've got it, folks. Your ZDub morning on 2 days after Earth Day. It's Tuesday, April 24th, 2018, and great morning. There's a jet up there in the sky flying in over Jumbo. Sun's coming up. Big trees and a lot of other trees blossoming. A lot of neat flowers coming out in the yard. I don't know if these little guys are still here, but yeah, this is what we're after. A little bit of nature. All right. And some boating. Looks like the neighbor's getting ready to do some springtime boating. So that's all for now, and hope you enjoyed it. There's more where that came from. Talk to you soon. Bye.